What was it like being the most powerful man in the world? And Mr. Carter said, I don't think I was that person. And they said, why? He said, there were things that as president I wasn't allowed to know about. And someone kind of giggling, oh, you mean UFOs? And he said, yes, that and more. What was it like being the most
This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where, who is he? I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Quadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahweh Shai is who the world innately calls Jesus Christ. The Rakah Quadash, Shalaki, is the Holy Spirit in the Paleo-Hebrew. And double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word, Lord willing that they can continue to be diligent and to be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing His word, Lord willing that they can continue in the same spirit to endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Akwathium that are believers of the faith, Lord willing you can continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. You know, I was at work and I came across this video. He's talking about, I believe, he's talking about Jimmy Carter, the president. And I'm going to play the video again one more time.
What was it like being the most powerful man in the world? And Mr. Carter said, I don't think I was that person. And they said, why? He said, there were things that as president I wasn't allowed to know about. And someone kind of giggling, oh, you mean UFOs? And he said, yes, that and more. What was it like being the most...
So I'm going to go to something, especially in my little portfolio. The first thing I'm going to bring out is this. This is Nathan Rothschild. He wrote this. You can go search it for yourself too, but a lot of the Rothschilds, they always be saying certain quotes, saying certain things. But he said, I care not what puppet is placed upon the throne of England to rule the empire on which the sun never sets. The man who controls Britain's money supply controls the British Empire, and I control the British money supply, right? So going again to what Mr. Carter said, and this guy was quoting, he said he don't think that he basically is in control. You know, somebody that's over control over him, over the president, over Congress, over the Senate, right? This is a business establishment, and this is rulership. So it's different levels, you know. Even when you go into like Caesar, Julius Caesar, Caesar Augustus, every poor, low folk, middle class, everybody wasn't seeing these people, you know. But Esau got so much crafty over the time. You got to really be somebody in order to meet them. Warren Buffett, a billionaire, anybody that's showing their face and showing their business, and you can see their wealth. Oh, the richest men on earth. No, they don't. And you got to know, especially in history, when Israel was in captivity, major empires took our possessions. They didn't just throw them away. They kept them, just like Esau is a hunter. When he kills an animal, he makes a trophy out of it. You know? A lot of wealth in Rome came from them taken from the children of Israel, Greek. A lot of people, let alone a lot of Edomites being descendants of that, especially Europe, you know, after getting back into power, they took our stuff, man. You know? After, you know, a falling away happened and Constantine brought that paganism, you know, and mixed it in with, you know, Christianity, right? There was a falling away after Yahushua and the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists died, right? And the Lord removed that voice, you know, that teaching, you know, because prophecies had to be fulfilled, you know. So whoever controls the money really controls the empire. Right? And this is a nation. America stems from Britain. You know? America stems from Britain. Now, I'm going to go back to Job 9 and 24 but I think I want to get something, if I may. Please bear with me. I'm trying to do as much as I can in just one swing. Boom, 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 boom. Salaki family. It's a certain verse that I want. I had it in my head, but I was trying to be able to not look it up. Okay, here we go. This is Revelation 17 in verse 11. It says, "The beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth, and is of the seven, and goeth into perdition," right? Condemnation or damnation, right? Which is going into Britain / America, right? Because America stems from Britain, you know. Did I search something? I think I did search something. Right here, when you go to information on America comes from Britain, it says, yes, America comes from Britain, in that the United States was once a British colony and declared independence from Great Britain in 1776. Right now, to go off of that, I'm gonna play the video where that quote come from. 1776. This is all dealing with certain history and points of Edomites, man. Rome, the Khazars, the Vatican, Judaism, the Templars, which help that thought of the inventors of banking, Islam, that all came through Rome, man. You know, monotheism, right? The synagogue of Satan, the converts, the Kabbalah, Switzerland, the Crusades, right? Germany, Britain, France, Freemason, the Jesuits, the suppression, right? The United States, the Bavarian Illuminati, which we could just say the Rothschild, because even, to usher in, to bring forth America, a lot of, what they would call foreign fathers, right? They built their profit off of slavery, off of cotton, off of sugar, molasses, tobacco, coffee, so on and so on, because they was about to establish a new dynasty, right? But in order to bring forth this new world order, or to bring forth their this Rome 2.0, the Lord had them, to do a deep dive construction on the establishment that they had already, right? Because even when we go back dealing with Rome, you had the same thing that was in Daniel, the 7th chapter, the seven heads and the 10 horns, right? Bringing forth NATO and the EU, the European Union, right? Because you remember that they, after they fell from Rome, they started to scatter in caves, the Caucasus Mountain, so on and so on, right? Now, this picture, like a little blurry, so I ain't going to be able to give you every detail, but I want to show you that Britain is part of the heads, the 7 heads. You have the Greeks, the British, Germany Minor, the Spanish, the French, the Romans in Germany Major, right? And America is the whore that rides on this beast. And a lot of prophets have visions of animals, but that was just all the lore. It was supposed to be symbolic to the empire or the captivity, So it all stems to leading you back to Esau, because 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, leads you to what is the end of the time, or what's the end of the first, right? The end of the first world, and it's Esau, because that was his blessing, because the kingdom blessing was really supposed to be for Jacob, which it was, right? But Esau's the firstborn, it was supposed to be his, but the Lord orchestrated everything to be the way that it was, right? So his blessing, he had got the sword, and look at him now. He go to and fro like a damn demon, conquering and seeing who he can devour, And when you go into the 7 heads, it is going into like the 7 governments or kingdoms ruled by Esau, right? And we go into the scriptures to see those things. I'm just showing the imagery because the guy said, let's go back to the video again.
What was it like being the most powerful man in the world?
See, and he's talking about Jimmy Carter, the president Jimmy Carter. How does it feel like being the most powerful man in the world?
And Mr. Carter said, I don't think I was that person. And
he said he didn't think that he was that person. Every Edomite in this thing is levels to it. You got the hierarchy, you got the lowarchy. You got poor ass Edomites. They're not even on a high level value. You know what I'm saying? The high value is the ones that's controlling the money. Now, I deleted certain pictures of Esau, right? I deleted certain pictures of Esau. I think I used them in videos, but I'm going to just quote certain things on my side, right? CNN. And I think that's NBC, The Guardian, HuffPost, The Vox, BuzzFeed. That's all ran by small hats, right? Or I call them the Jujus, right? Jewish, but Jujus, because they'll watch your channel. You got the Amalekites, right? Because even the Lord said that Amalek will be first, out of Esau, and who you just seen me speaking code is a certain group of people which stems from the nation of Esau you can't speak about on this side, because their name is in everything, right? When you go into the TV shows that you watch, the movies that you watch, Disney, I'm just zooming up on this thing right here, ABC News, CBS, Universal Studios, 20th Century Fox, Columbia Pictures, DreamWorks Studio, Warner Brothers, ESPN Sports, Fox News, Washington Post, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, MTV, Music Television, Nickelodeon Kids, US Today, Wall Street Journal, Comedy Central, NBC Entertainment, the New York Times, Google, the Atlantic, Disney, ABC, Kids and Family, YouTube, Los Angeles Times, Discovery Network, Paramount Pictures, Facebook, Huffington Post, Yahoo, Marvel, Hulu, Time Inc., Touchstone, Associated Press, Miramax Film, HBO, Pixar, New York Post, Imagine Entertainment, Lux Art, Reader's Digest, MSNBC, DreamWorks Animation, and Comcast. They all stem from, which we would call I call them the Jujus, right? Small hats on this side, but even the elites, they're the hierarchy of those small hats of the Jujus, and is regular. You even have regular Caucasians, right? That are in a position of power, But the ones that what I read in Job the 9th chapter, right? Let me go back to that. Job the 9th chapter. Let's finish.
I said, why? He said, there were things that as president I wasn't allowed to know about. And someone kind of giggling, oh, you mean UFOs? And he said, yes, that and more. Well,
right? So he's not that powerful because he can't even speak, or he don't fully know about the UFOs. Now the elites, they understand and know because it's in our scriptures. They know that it's a power. Even Ronald Reagan, he spoke about a force coming from outer space. that we would have to prepare, that one day we're going to have to come together. That's all in scriptures, right? Somebody is knowing something. Somebody had to tell them a little something, something, you know? But they're not giving us enough. Why is it? Why are they not able to stop these so-called UFOs, these chariots, when Esau conquers everybody? Because they can't conquer, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They can't get a hold of the angels unless the Lord allow it. But it's nowhere in the scriptures that the Lord is allowing those things. Even in the time of Rome, even the time of Tobit, in the time of when the angels came down, you even had what? Sodom and Gomorrah. They wanted to take advantage of these angels and have, get freaky, do the diddler things, right? And the angel, what he did, swing the door, and on the other side of the door, they put blindness on the whole city, man. That's Genesis, the 19th chapter. They put blindness on them. So they can't even actually, you know what? Let me be respectful. Let me get it. Let me make sure this is what we want. Genesis 19. I want to actually stay on this and then use the scriptures behind the scene. But just so I could just show you guys, I think it say even plain in the NLT. I want to show it plain for you guys. This is Genesis, the 19th chapter. Is it starting verse 4? Okay, this is Genesis 19 and verse 3. It says, but Lot insisted, so at last they went home with him. Lot prepared a feast for them, complete with fresh bread made without yeast, and they ate. But before they retired for the night, all the men of Sodom, young and old, came from all over the city and surrounded the house. They shouted to Lot, where are the men who came to spend the night with you? Bring them out to us so we can have sex with them. So Lot stepped outside to talk with them, shutting the door behind them. Please, my brothers, he begged, don't do such a wicked thing. Look, I have 2 virgin daughters. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do with them as you wish. But please leave these men alone, for they are my guests and are under my protection. Stand back, they shouted. This fellow came to town as an outsider, and now he's acting like our judge. We'll treat you far worse than those other men. And they lunged towards Lot to break the door. You see how nasty they got a demon in them. Verse 10, but the 2 angels reached out, pulled Lot into the house, and bolted the door. Then they blinded all the men, young and old, who were at the door of the house, so they gave up trying to get inside, right? The angels hit them with blindness, This is why they can't give them information. Now, in some cases, like they always do, give our people the damn green-looking damn alien, and most of our people will believe that dumb shit, You got certain individuals that was in the media that seen a chariot, like long pipe or stick, that landed in a airplane base, and tall, mighty black men, tall, came out, and they look like they never been conquered. This is what the guy said. I gotta look for this video. I've been looking for it. I heard it before. I seen it, and it drifted away. You know what I'm saying? You can go search of chariots shooting down missiles, other sightings, because you got some people that's catching these things, but then some people don't know what to say, what it is. Yes, they might say alien, but alien means foreigner. That's what it means. That anybody that's coming from above the firmament is most like is an angel from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, And it's other things that even you small heads might not know. You presidents, the top elite, understand that we're the children, right? Let me get the other one because I want to show certain articles. This is something that If anybody watched football, Deshaun Jackson posted this, right? Because he's a little awoke, still got sleepy boogers in his eyes. You can see his name at the bottom, you know. It says Hitler said because the white Jews knows that the Negroes are the real children of Israel, and to keep America secret, the Jews will blackmail America and will extort America. Their plan for world domination won't work if the Negroes know who they are, right? This is why it's a problem for us to teach. This is why we're teaching all the time. This is why we're dedicated to it, right? Because through the Spirit, we are becoming a problem. And the son of perdition is getting revealed each and every day. And then worldwide, he's going to fully be known, right? It says the white citizens of America will be terrified to know that all this time they've been mistreating and discriminating and lynching the children of Israel. You see how first it said Jews and then it said white people, right? Because you got white looking Jews that called themselves that. We looked at Job, the 9th chapter, right? They took the image and made it of themselves. First Maccabees 3 and 48. Go read it. First Maccabees 3 and 48. You know, the heathen looked in our law and sought to paint the likeness of their image. That's why Caesar Borgia look the way he do in that picture, and now they saying it's Jesus. He was never Yahushai. You know, that was the Lord moving on them to do those things, right? To bring us forth to finding the Lord through reading. Yahushai is not on earth, Yah Jew. You know, through the Spirit, yes. Through the Rakak Wadash, yes. The Lord is all-knowing. He can see, right? But Yahushai is on the right-hand side of the Father until we make his enemies his footstool. Hey, that's a side cut to Yaju and any nigga saying that he Yahushai or I am the Hamashiach. I am the anointed one. Then why your enemies is not under your footstool? You know? So you got small hats, which is like regular Edomite Caucasians, you certain presidents, Donald Duck, Joe Biden. If they're not fully calling themselves the small hat Jews, right? They're small hats in a position of power. They're puppets. You know, a lot of Rothschilds, they call themselves Juju beings. Got to say that because YouTube is ran by Juju beings, right? So dropping down, it says they will fear the Most High will destroy them as he destroyed Egypt for doing the same thing. So the elite, the Illuminati, keeps this a secret at all costs, right? Because even when back then, when you look at Egypt, the Pharaoh before that Pharaoh, he knew about the children of Israel because of Joseph. But then when the new Pharaoh rose, he didn't know nothing about them, you know? But who's to say that when the knowledge was written on the wall? You know, the Lord put it in his heart. We see in the scriptures, his heart was hardened. Even more, it was the Lord that made sure he didn't know. But all through life, the Lord had the men of the Lord record and write. When you go to Isaiah, and that's amazing. I just did a lesson on this. What is it? Isaiah chapter 30 and the 8th verse. This is what it says. It says, now go and write it before them in a table and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. When you read the NLT, you know, write in a book and it's going to be a witness forever and ever. Until these things be fulfilled, this is a witness for us to know who Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is, who our power is, you know? This is why this is amazing, you know? You know how like James Brown said this is a man's world? No, this is an Israelite world. We're the Hebrew Israelites outside of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is the most important people on the earth. This is why they have to hide these things. Because if you give too much information, especially to a lower dumb Edomite, they're going to blurt it out. In his YouTube videos, I did YouTube videos where in the beginning I'll show videos of multiple lower Caucasians saying, "Oh, you blacks, you guys are the real Jews, and you're the natives and the other rest of the 12 tribes. You are the true people, right? What my people did to you. I am a Edomite, a so-called a white woman, you know. My people have lied to you. It's certain small little Edomites that actually know who the true people of Yahweh Shem Shai. That's why they cannot be in a position of power, right? Because they would tell it all. But the Lord did that so that the elect would strive to get the truth. And we would go through the men of the Lord. And of course, we're using the technology, these things that the Lord put in Esau's empire for us to use. Right? Reading the last paragraph, it says, "After I die, I will one day cause World War III just by this message, which will be like planting a seed in a people's mind until it sprouts. Once they nourish that seed and seek more truth and learn Hitler was right." Right? Hitler was right. Guess what? Hitler is I think a nephew or grandson. He's a relative towards the Rothschilds. And look, he had to go too. He was giving out vital information through the spirit. You know? So I'm going to play this video. This Edomite, he even whistleblowing, right? Giving out some vital information. But I want to read something real quick. This is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. "The king's heart, which is his mind, is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will." Right? So when you look at Job 9:24, the earth is given, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked, right? And he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Then who is he? Then when we go to, I think it's Job 13:4 and Maccabees chapter 3 verse 48. Job chapter 13 verse 4, it says, "But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value." Right? So they forge lies, right? Putting their own image. We see it in Job 9:24. They paint the likeness of their image. First Maccabees 3:48. These is the fools. Job 9:24 again, "The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" Right? He covered the faces of the judges with his own image. First Maccabees 3:48. And even more, he cover up our images by hiding them. He cover up his trail, so we wouldn't know. Why the Vatican? Why Russia just now want to show that they're praying to a black Hamashiach Yahushai? Why? Right? This truth been hidden, but the Lord is unraveling things. So let's play this video.
Banker in the world, the most powerful banker in the world, just died, and when you study his family, it becomes clear why people can't afford homes and college. The story goes back to the 1700s and a banker named Mayer Rothschild, and he made an amazing discovery that there was more wealth lending money to governments than individual people. And to stay with me, because this will explain why Gen Z can't afford anything. Rothschild would have 5 sons who he would send to 5 different countries across Europe to start central banks: Germany, Austria, England, Italy, and France. And by the early 1800s, the Rothschild family was funding both sides of the Napoleonic Wars, which was the real World War I. And funding both sides of wars would become part of the business model. Well, Napoleon would be defeated at the Battle of Waterloo, and the Rothschilds had gotten the news before everyone else. They knew that England won the war. Well, they start selling off all their English war bonds, and they make sure everyone could see them do it. And when everyone saw the Rothschilds selling their bonds, they started to sell theirs. They assumed that the Rothschilds had information that England was going to lose the war. And when everyone started selling their war bonds, the Rothschilds bought them back for pennies on the dollar. And later that week, when everyone else found that England won the war, the Rothschilds basically owned the country. And as Nathan Rothschild said, Give me control of a nation's money supply, and I care not who makes its laws. The business model had become to get governments and people into debt. And when the Rothschilds saw a young America, they saw opportunity. And in 1816, they found their way into American central banking with the Second Bank of the United States. And your money would be worth even less today if Andrew Jackson hadn't come along and saved the country. He started what are known as the bank wars. He balanced the budget, paid off America's debt, and ended the charter of the Second Bank of the United States. And although an assassin was sent after Jackson, he would miss both shots, and Jackson would proceed to beat him with a cane. And that's why Jackson is on the $20 bill. They're mocking him, and they're mocking you and me. But 77 years later, the Rothschilds would take control of the American banking system with the passage of the Federal Reserve Act. That's what this book is about. It gave a small group of powerful bankers a monopoly over the printing of the American dollar. And for every dollar they print, they're paid back at interest. This is why the 16th Amendment was passed that same year, 1913. It established the federal income tax for the first time in American history. When they print this money, they get paid back at interest with our tax dollars. And there hadn't been a federal income tax for the first 137 years that America was a country. And these taxes go to paying back the bankers at interest, not the roads and the military like everyone thinks. It's usury, debt.
And he answered and said unto him, Master.
And they love the wars because they're getting paid back at interest. But every time they print that money, they're stealing from the future. It means your money is going to be worth less. It's why they had Lyndon B. Johnson push the Great Society, which made mortgages and college loans available to everyone, which was great for the boomers. But every time they took out those loans, it meant the price of housing and college would go up, up, up. So now no one could afford housing, no one could afford college without going into debt. The business model has always been to use usury to steal the wealth of nations, to control governments, and to control.
Now, the main video was when Jimmy Carter, when the guy was quoting where Jimmy Carter said that, he don't think that he's in power, and then he shows the example because to be in power, you should be in the knowing, and he wasn't in the knowing of knowing UFOs or knowing so on and so on, right? So this video is just me going into, Esau is being revealed day by day. I didn't bring out crazy precepts. It just brought out those things just to motivate, because it's no way around for us to say it's the Arabs or the Muslims, or it's this, or it's that. Muslims didn't stem from Britain. When you look at Rome, and then it got wounded, and then it healed. Islam, Ishmael, the real descendant of Ishmael, was not ruling Rome. Ishmael did not crucify Yahushua on behalf of the Jews, saying crucify him. That wasn't Ishmael. The ones that brought you on slave ships and brought you to America, that first beast, it healed. Revelations, the 13th chapter, it healed. And this beast, was exercising the same as the beast before, and it's speaking like a dragon, because that dragon in Revelation is the red dragon in Revelations 12 is stemming towards Edomites, especially when you go back into the history of Esau, of him wasn't potish, that wasn't even done, and that's why his name is Esau. What goes into Reddish, he's not well done, and he's more profane than anybody. Soon as he come out the womb, he sold his birthright. Ishmael didn't sell his birthright. He got removed from Isaac because his mother didn't want the blessing to be mixed up. She didn't want Ishmael to share the Isaac's blessing, so he got removed. So people got to stop using Ishmael, the Arabs. They didn't sell their birthright. You sook it mother sucker. You know, Hagar, the Lord blessed Ishmael, you know, with 12 12 sons, man. You know, and Ishmael, for the most, like they are bonding. It's different names of them, right? They're bonding. But you got Esau against Esau. They are the ones that's conquering and devouring. I'm just speaking on the commentary on that because it should be plain, especially with the lessons that brothers is doing day in and day out. This is Judah, the 5th chapter, and I just want to go to verse 20 and 21, which is a good point. It says, "Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin. Let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their power before them, and we become a reproach before all the world." Now Esau is stepping into this lot of seeing that we're rising up, coming into this truth. You know, understanding who we are, understanding the place of all the nations is still back on the earth. Ecclesiastes 4 and 16. Somebody has to fit the bill of Esau. Some people say Esau's not here no more, or Esau's Ishmael. Then why is not Ishmael on the superscription of the dollar? Because even in the time of Yahushai, it was Caesar that was on the superscription. You know, and the presidents now is the form of a Caesar. But now Esau got even more crafty. They got people that's in power that's behind the scene. Everything you eat stems from them. Their billion-dollar enterprise of food, right? Because we have to go to them in hunger, thirst, and nakedness. They establish English. That's another one. English stems from England. You know, Esau grew and hid in Europe. Ishmael was in his own lot. Then they started establishing they freaking religion, right? But that all stems out of Rome. Esau is the most wicked nation out of the whole earth, you know? And when we look where it says governor, I started thinking of like when you start going into like the Borgia family, going back to Genesis 36 chapter, a lot of Esau had dukes in their family. And I'm about to go to that. I'm going to go to that Genesis 36 chapter. And then I'm going to actually look that up just for that, because this is plain. What I'm about to bring out is going to be plain, so I'm not here to force anybody to believe anything I'm saying out the scriptures. This is, really for the elect, the ones that get it and the ones that know it, be encouraged, right? This is Genesis 36, and it deals with the descendants of Esau. I just want to go to a few couple words just so you can see Esau has children that are dukes. So when I go to verse 8, it says, "Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau's Edom. These are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, in Mount Seir." Now you can read down. You could read the whole chapter if you want. I want to show you the point of the word duke, right? So when you go to verse 15, it says, "These are the dukes of the sons of Esau, the son of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esau, Duke Teman, which of today will be the Germans, right? Duke Omar, Duke Zapo, Duke Kanaz, Duke Kara, Duke Gatam, and Duke Amalek. These are the dukes that came of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Adah," right? These were the son of Adah, and you can keep on going and seeing dukes. Dukes in the 17th verse, dukes in the 18th verse. Now, just as a sidebar, I want to just get the etymology of dukes, and then we're going to go look it up. And then we're going to close out. Didn't want this to be too long. Didn't want it to be too long. I just wanted to stay on the point to encourage y'all, man. Time is of the essence, and Esau is getting revealed each and every day.
Strong's H441. Aloof. Aloof.
The word goes into like chief, And then you can look in the Strong's definition. Of course, it got all these other ones, but we staying to the point of what a duke is. A captain, a duke, a chief, friend, governor, or guide, right? This is what these stems from. And we just read that in Judith, the 5th chapter, where it says, let me go back to it. Let's go back to it in Judith. In every verse that I said, you can go read it for yourself. You know, you can go in there and get it for yourself. It's Judith chapter 5, verse 20 again. It says, now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up and we shall overcome them. Right? And a governor is another word opposite from duke, or chief, another opposite word from duke, captain. Right? So now let's go type in the Borgia family. Salaki family, Wikipedia. See if they get, okay, you see this, the children, Giovanni. You got Caesar right there too, but I want to deal with Giovanni. Let me see if it's going. Nope, it's not saying it there, so I might just have to click his name. There we go. Giovanni Borgia, second Duke of Gudea, right? Spanish, right? The true Spanish. We ain't talking about Puerto Rican. Spanish is a language, right? And of course, Spanish is a nation too. So when you say Puerto Ricans or Latinos, that's not Spanish. They might be speaking Spanish, but that's not Spanish, right? Spanish is the Italians, right? The true Edomite Italians, because you could have Jakes that are Italians or Sicilians, you know, and Jake laid with a lot of Sicilians and Italians, right? So a lot of them could be the 12 tribes of Israel, and of course we're mixed in with the nations. But true Edomites stem from Esau, right? And only reason why they really in Spanish or Italy is because Esau went to and fro seeking where he can conquer. You know, they conquered the area of the Greeks. They're not really Greeks, you know, because when you go into Genesis 6:36, you know, even with the Most High, a lot of us get our nationality by our father, right? So if I'm a Judite, or Yahawada, which is today would be African American. From my seed, every child is going to be African American. So if Esau have descendants, they're going to be Edomites regardless. And of course they stem like you're an Amalekite, right? But you're an Edomite, but a descendant of the Amalekites. That means you come from the loins of the Amalekites, right? An Amalekite is a son of Eliphaz, but it just still stems from Esau. It's just that name of Amalekite that Amalek that holds more weight because they're going to be the first out of Esau, you know. So this right here shows that this is a duke. I believe Caesar eventually became a duke too, right? You got other ones. I just clicked it right now. Juan de Borgia y Enriquez, third Duke of Gudea. You know, I'm not a super beast when it comes to the names, man. Right? Let's see if we can type in Dukes. Okay, they got Prince William, the Duke of Cornwall, Duke of Cambridge, the Prince of Wales. As the eldest son of King Charles III, he became Duke of Cornwall after his father accession to the throne. The Duke of York, Prince Andrew, Prince Henry. I gotta see. Oh, see, dukes in the United Kingdom. Oh yeah, that's definitely a Edomite, man. Duke in the United Kingdom is the highest ranking. Okay, Royal Dukeums. The Royal Duke is a duke who is a member of the British royal family. See, ooh, the British royal family. Those is Edomites, especially the ones holding their self in a high regard on this side. You know, man, you can go look up some of these. You know, but again, uh, Duke just goes into captain, chief, or governor. Now, a Jake right now can be a duke. He can be a chief, a captain, or a governor. But when you go back into like Genesis, you really only see Esau given that. You know, either his descendants or this person was given the title duke. You know, but of course you'll see a brother out here that's in his truth. Oh, that's captain this, that's chief this, right? That just stems from Duke, without saying Duke. So like the ones that get it and see it, oh, in the Bible, oh man, when I go, I only see Edomites really being called dukes. And that just helps you, instead of having a whole blown argument of Ishmael is the Edomites. Right there and then, when we go to Genesis 36, we see that they're called dukes. Let's go to Ishmael and see if he's called duke in the scriptures. And then now, let's line that up with the time before or this time now. You know, even more in a position of power where their money is used all over the whole world. And that just destroys everything, because America was the strongest dollar on the earth in its time, right? And who's in the superscription? Edomites. And we just seen that they was just using Andrew to make fun of him or whatever, right? But it doesn't matter. The superscription is what it is. And we see in scriptures, reward Caesar what is Caesar. And if you're giving tribute or it's a superscription of a ruler, you are a slave. Talking to the 12 tribes of Israel and as other nations that is conquered too, they're slaves too. But why is the children of Israel slaves? What makes it different than all nations? Because we sinned and turned our back against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So Lord willing, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. Salaki on, the volume of being so excited and getting all into it. But Lord willing, you were edified and you're motivated and sure and know who your top enemy is, which is the nation of Esau. I'm not telling you to go get a stick, go get a gun and bang, bang, boogie. This is why you spiritually untie yourself mentally and spiritually from this place, so that when they start pushing this MOTB to push in a new world order, you're not going to take it, because you believe in Yahweh Shema Shai and you're willing to endure the suffering, right? Because in order to be in this system, you're going to have to give up your belief system truly in Yahweh Shema Shai. And now, if that actually happened, that is even showing more that we're in the end times. So there's no need to turn back and use Egypt. If you watch the video I did when I was at work, Isaiah 30, to show you right now is the time to let loose of Egypt. Don't get too caught up in trying to make six figures. Get caught up in just providing and getting by and being able to, okay, I got a few dollars in my pocket. Oh, if I need this or that person need that. But don't hurt yourself to growing in this society, because when things fall, you're gonna fall even harder, because now you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, right? So with that, I'm gonna say shalom, all praise to Yahweh Shema Shai, who is the true power. right? And without him, we wouldn't have this knowledge, and we wouldn't have brothers that's diligently being sincere in teaching us, so that we can make our due diligence in reading and hearing the word and teaching. So with that, shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elders who rule well in the spirit and teach well, who was my teachers, right, through the spirit. You know, Lord, when they continue to endure and be sincere, and a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth in the same spirit, teaching this word and believing this word. Lord willing, you can continue to endure and be sincere. With that, shalom, shalom.